we are live over on Facebook and YouTube, and we did have a new release on Tuesday, and this is our first live day since the release. So today we will be looking at all the new products in it. If you are out there, please give me a wave, say hi. It would be great to know you're there. The lovely Joanna will be behind the alt new badge, and she'll be popping in all the links that we need to see, and also answering any questions that I do miss, and I may miss some, but she will give me a little nudge too. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the alt new store. So there is the lovely Joanna. She has just popped in to give me a nudge about the giveaway too. Hi there, Sue. And hi there, Laurel and Beth and Lynn. Yep. So today we do have the Storybook fantasy. So we have lots of like fairy tale themes as well as books, which is really, really cool. So I am going to pop you guys down so you can see what we do have in the release. Okay, dokie. Move you down. There we go. So you should be able to see my tabletop now. Hi there, Cece. And okay, so I'm going to start off, as I usually do, with the layering florals. So this is the book engraving of the stem set. I'm just going to move this over slightly if I can. There we go. So this is the book engraving stem set. In here we have 2 blooms as well as 3 different leaf clusters, and some sentiments in there too. We do have the layering guide within the trifold, so you're going to be able to layer this one up. Now this one doesn't come with a base layer, so if you did want to add a base layer, you can always use the simple coloring stencil to add the base layer, to add a different layer to those flowers. As well as the simple coloring stencil and the stem set, we do have the matching die set available, which is going to cut out those flowers and also the leaves there too. Hi there, Nancy. Okay, so I'm going to move this over, and this one is the fairy tale rose. You can see that we've got a really beautiful outline of a rose there, as well as 2 separate layers for the flower and 1 layer for the stem. As well as that, we have all of these beautiful sentiments in various different fonts that you can mix and match with each other to create your own custom ones. We do have the layering guide in there, so you can quickly and easily layer this one up. And then we have the die set that does match the outline image. And then we also have the simple coloring stencil. So this is going to allow you to add a base layer to both the flower and the stem if you do so wish. Okay, so next up we have the fairy tale florals. This is one of my favorites. And in here we have some really beautiful, they're kind of like peonies, kind of like blossom. I'm not really sure what they are, but they're pretty nonetheless. So we have that floral cluster there. And these layers are kind of like cross-hatch. A proper shaded layer is kind of cross-hatch lines to add that really cool detail to those images. As well, there are some sentiments as well as the Berliner. The book engravings, no, they are a little bit larger. The images are in the stamp set than they are on the embossing folder, but I will show you that. Okay, so this is the layering guide. You can see that we've got the outline and then those cross-hatch layers for the flower shading, and then the leaves as well is one. So as well as the stamp set, which is a 6x8, we do have the matching die set, which is going to cut out that large floral image that we have there. And then we also have the simple coloring stencil. So that's going to allow you to add a base layer to all of those images that you can see in that large floral image. Once upon a time, this is very, very cute. So we have a mountain. We also have a road that you can stamp coming away from the mountain, 3 different trees, a large tree branch, and then this really cute horse and cart there. So as well as that, there are some really great sentiments in there. So once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives you a fairy tale, which is really quite cute. So we do have a colouring part in this trifold, so you can have a go at colouring, and you can even take that inspiration to maybe stamp your card front if you wanted to. As well as the stamp set, we do have the matching die set available. You can see it's going to cut out all of the images. Apart from the mountain, it's just going to cut along the top of that, so you can create a 3D scene that way. Okay. And this one here is the tall tale. And in here we have a really large bookcase or bookshelf, a little girl reading 2 different books, some reading grasses, and then also some really great sentiments to go on there as well. So as well as the stamp set, we do have the matching die set available, which is going to cut out all of the images on there. And we also have the tall tale bookmark die, which is really quite large. I think this is around 8 inches. I'm just going to check for you. And I did go the wrong way with it. Yeah, 8.5 inches for that bookmark. And you're going to be able to create lots of little gifs if you wanted to, maybe pop that in the inside of a card, or even use it as part of your card design. As well as that one, we do have the Books Are Magic. This one has 2 large images, one a stack of books, which makes me think of like spell books. And then we have a little scene inside of a lantern, a little pot with a quill, and some really great sentiments in there. We also have some really small images to create really fun backgrounds. As well as that, and we do have the inspiration on the trifold there. As well as the stamp set, we also have the matching die set available, which is going to cut out those 3 larger images from the stamp set. As well as that, we have whimsical herringbone. So this is a really large background stamp. I think this is really, really cool, kind of edgy and a little bit more trendy. We have the friend and the hope in a large script font, as well as some additional sentiments that you can add onto those as well. Then we have the Storybook sentiments. Connie, they're all available separately. This is the whole release that I am sharing with you today. So this is the Storybook sentiment stamp set, and you have lots of different sentiments in there with the large first letter of the sentiment in a really cool font with some little branches going off it there. Kind of Storybook-esque sentiments in that one. Next up, we have the modern swans. So this one is really cool. So we have 2 different swans floating in or swimming in 2 different directions, as well as some reflections of water and the little faces for the swans and some sentiments there. As well as the stamp set, we do have the matching die set available, which is going to cut out those 2 swans. I'm trying to hurry up so we can get through everything. Then we have the 1 card. So this is a 2x3 stamp set, and it says, I only make you 1 birthday card per year. You better love it. So it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. So if you do like sending funny cards, that might be one to add to your stash. And it is pocket friendly. Then we have the Terrarium 3D die set. Now this is used to create a little mini terrarium. I cut mine out of some acetate and some gold cardstock. You can see just how cool that is. I do want to put like an air plant inside, but I didn't have one, so I just popped a little fake flower in. But you don't necessarily just have to use that to make terrariums. You can definitely use the images to create cards as well. We have the Hill Blossoms layering stencil set. So this is 2 different stencils, which is going to allow you to create these really pretty stenciled blooms that way. Okay, now we're going to move on to the 3D embossing folders. So this is the Bold Floral Drape. As you can see, it's a 6x6 embossing folder, and you're going to be able to create a really beautiful background of florals and leaves with that one. I'll just turn that over so you can see just how pretty that is. Then we have the floating foliage. So if you're more of a leaf person rather than a flower person, this one may be for you. And you can see that we got all those different leaves there. If I turn this over, you can see just how beautiful that is going to emboss on your cardstock. Hi there, everyone, for joining us, and it's nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us going through our release. So this one is the Ranunculus bouquet. You can see that we've got a really large ranunculus flower there, as well as some berries and leaves just coming off that. You can see just how beautiful that will emboss there. Then we have the majestic bloom. I'm sorry, everyone, we are getting towards the end, and then we can start doing things. Please let me know your favorites. So this one is the majestic bloom. We have the majestic bloom flower here, and lots of different leaves there. This one is the book cover engravings. So this is smaller than the stamp set, so they won't match up perfectly. So this one is, you got the two flowers there, and then the leaves around the edges. If I turn that over, you can see just how well that one is going to emboss there. I think this one has been the most popular. So this one is the Garden Harmony 6x6 embossing folder with it all over kind of ferny looking branches on this one. And that one embosses like that one. You can see the texture that you're going to get with that, with some high and then some low. Okay, this one is the Dancing Peacock. So this one is kind of like a mandala effect, I would say, with some Baroque swirls on there. You can see just how pretty that one is there. And then last but not least on the 3D embossing folders is the Storybook frame. So it's going to add a really pretty frame. So you can then add your images or maybe a large sentiment to the center of that. Okay, I just have a few more things to share, and then we can get into making something. So I know that these have sold out at the minute, but if you do sign up on the website for an email to get notified when they do come, they shouldn't be too long before they come back in stock. But these are the detail blending brushes. You're going to get 3 in the pack, and they are all various sizes, but they do have a tapered edge on them to help you add colour into various parts of your stencil. So that is the detail blend. I don't want to spend too much time on them because I know that you can't get them right at this minute. Okay, then we have the washi tape. This one is the Aurora Borealis, and you can see that you have those beautiful greens and teal tones on that one with that beautiful gold foiling with the city skyline. Then we have the Cool Summer Night. Thin washi tape. So in here you're going to get the sea glass, ocean waves, dusk, and desert night. They're 1/4 inch wide by 10 meters long for those ones. And then last but not least, I believe I have everything once I've shown you these ones. These are the mini set of decals of the vintage roses. So you can add these onto your phones, your laptops, or any personal items that you do have. They are on a white decal sheet, so whatever you put this on, the colors are going to stay vivid just as they are on the pictures there. Okay. Whew, that took a lot of going through, but what I Okay, I think we're back. Please let me know. Okay, so I'm going to start with the hill blossoms because I did see someone say that this was their favorite and maybe they wanted to see it. So this is the hill blossoms, and I am going to just go onto a piece of cardstock. Oh, thank God. Thankfully, I am back. Okay, so I'm going to go with the hill blossoms, and I do have a number of inks with me today. I just have 6 packs, so whatever I use is going to be from these. And I'm just going to grab the green. So I've got the Nature's Wonders. Okay, now these are really easy to layer up, these ones. So, and I have my mini blending tools, and I'm just going to add this into place onto my card front. So I just have a card panel here. I do find it's easier for me, just in case I do go wrong. I can always just flip it over and then, you know, hide it when I stick it onto the card. So I'm just going to be using my small blending tools. And I have the sea forest here. And I'm just going to add. Now you can either tape your stencil down, maybe use some stencil spray, but I do find with these simple colouring stencils, when you kind of just need to move them, that it's easier just to kind of hold them, make sure they're going to stay in place. So that is the first layer. I'm going to flip that. And if you wanted the flowers to go in the other direction, you could always use the stencil in the other way too. And then I'm going to go with mangrove root. Oh, I think I've added the top onto my ink very, very hard because it doesn't want to come off. Right, I'm just going to go with sea forest again. Yeah, I think I've really pressed down when I was putting the lid onto that one. Okay, so I'm going to go with sea forest again. Make sure that I've got it all nicely lined up. You do have the layering guide on the packet, so that's going to help you layer this up. So I'm just going to add a lot more ink through it this time, just to give me that darker shade. So if you did only have one green ink, you can definitely just add layers and layers and more of that color to get a different effect. So I have just used the same ink color to create those two different colors that we have there. Okay, so I'm going to move that off because it's not needed anymore. Do I go with purple flowers, blue flowers, or red flowers? Please let me know. First one that I see is the one that I'm going to go for while I layer this up. Anyone? Oh, Beth, I think I've just really pressed that down because it doesn't want to open for me just yet. Okay, purple did pop up first, so I'm going to go with purple. But there was a blue in there too. So I think I'm going to see if I can do a gradient down. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to start with the amethyst and also the cloudy sky. So this is the tranquility and also the sugar plums in the inks. So I'm going to use that one for my purple and this one for my blue. See if it works. If it doesn't work, you can see that it didn't work, but I reckon it will. So I'm going to go with the cloudy sky first. I have this layered up. And I'm going to start with blue at the bottom. And okay. Once I've got my blue down, let's go with purple, shall we? So this one is the amethyst, I believe. Amethyst. Again, this one's from the sugar plums. So I'm going to have the purple and then I'm going to go further down with that purple so we can hopefully get an ombre effect on those little flowers that we have there. But it did have blue on that. So let's move that one out. Okay. Move it over. And then I'm going to go up the inks. Amethyst. Make sure you put them on the right ones. So I have grape agate. Maybe I've just lost all of my strength in my hands. Maybe that's what it is. Grape agate, and also the nimbus. So again, I use this one for my blue one. So nimbus is going to be this one. And then the grape agate on the top and then coming down into that one. We'll see if it works. And then we're going to have the dark night and then the plum. Oh, that one opened. That one was easy. There we go. And that one is the plum. So I'm going to flip this. I believe that's correct. Yep. And line that up again. I'm going to line it up with this flower and then the bottom flower, and then everything else kind of sorts itself out for you. So this is the dark night. It's my favorite navy, that one. It's like a pure navy. It's beautiful. And the plum. Okay. So now I need something darker that is actually going to cover those colors that we've just done. I'm going to try again with the mangrove root. Yes, I got the mangrove root open. It's open. So there we go. You can see our pretty ombre there, but I am going to add these little centers in. I always get that the wrong way. I don't necessarily think it matters completely, but hey. So I've got the mangrove root, and I'm going to add that for my flower centers, or you could add it in gold, which I have done before, because you can see that there's gold on the stencil and I just haven't cleaned it off completely. There we go. Although it did kind of transfer through a little bit, that gold, but yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with that blue to purple ombre effect. So I think there's going to be quite a few stencils that you're going to be able to do that with as well. But I do have a buddleia outside that goes from orange to purple, so I think that would be a cool one to do, but orange and purple don't really blend together that well. But there we go. I think that I like that. Please let me know if you would like to see anything else. You know, let me know what you want me to do. I'm gonna see if I can maybe emboss this. I should have embossed it first so I got the flower in the right place, but let's give it a go. Let's see if I can add that around. I could always trim this later on. Oops. Maybe if I line it up with the front rather than the back, that might help me. Okay. So I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. I do have this off to the side of me. I will do that. I just need to run it through. Please let me know what you would want to see next. I just put my large die cutting machine on a chair, which is at the side of me. So I'm sorry I have to escape. Oh, I went the wrong way, but still looks kind of pretty. So I would maybe trim this and then pop this panel up onto a card base, a little bit of a sentiment, and I think that is good. So any of the roses, okie dokie. Okay, I'm just going to move those stencils over. The fairy tale rose or the book engravings? Beth? Oh, the ranunculus as well. Okay, so I'm going to go with this one because she did say roses, so I believe that it was the fairy tale rose that she was maybe after. Just stamp this up, and then we will do the ranunculus. We'll just add a bit of color to that one. I think I already have it embossed, so I won't have to escape that one. Okay, so let's go with the rose. Okay, so we do have the simple layering stencil for this one, and that is going to add the base to the rose. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this one up. You may need to heat set if you are going to use dye ink straight over the top. Okay, maybe I should have gone for the book engravings. Never mind, we have time. Thank you, Joanna, for reminding me. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Okay, so I'm just going to press that one down. If you do have trouble getting the right pressure, I would maybe think about getting the stamping mat from Altenew. It really does help, and I have mine to the side just with everything on it, so wasn't the greatest idea to pile all my crafting stuff on it when I could have used it instead. Okay, I'm just going to clean that off, and I'm just going to quickly heat set that one just so I can use the stencil pretty quickly. I'm hoping I have heat set that enough. Okay, so we went with purples and blues, so let's go with a pink this time. And then the next color family I do have is a yellow. So it's kind of autumny colors that I have out today, which I don't know why, because it's not autumn. So I have the Martian Terrain, and I really just love the name of that one. So I'm going to pop the easy coloring stencil around there, or the simple coloring stencil, sorry. Grab my little blending tool, and I'm just going to add some color through there. No, I did not add enough heat to that, so I'm going to add a darker color. Okay. I haven't used these cubes before, so ooh, that one's pretty juicy. Okay, so I've added a base layer. It's not the greatest, but I did want to add less up here so I can have the highlight from maybe the sun coming over from there. I'm also going to add the stem while I'm here. Let's go with the sea forest because it was open. Just add that through. Really quick and easy. And then we also have this singular leaf here that hasn't been done. We just have it here. Maybe you can add some more to that so it looks like it's further behind. Move that to get a good old wash later on. Then we can take the layers. Now these are pretty solid stamps, and they haven't been used much, so I am just going to take my stamp conditioning eraser and just rub that over. When I use it, I kind of just flick it over. You don't need to put too much pressure on this for it to work properly. I think the less pressure you do put on it, the better, because you're not going to get any little bits that way. Okay. And I'm going to go with the same color as I went with before. So this is the Canyon Clay. I do find that I kind of swish then tap at the end when it's a really large stamp. Put this into position. These ones are quite easy to line up. You can see straight through the stamp to the image below. There's that layer. And then we have a second layer for this one. I'm going to go with the burnt red. There we go. Oh. Nearly had an accident. It's very often that I do drop my ink pad onto my stamps images, so I'm glad that I didn't do it this time. It's like when you drop bread or toast with butter on, it nearly always goes on the butter side down, right? Curious. So I'm not sure you would call it soft, but it's not firm. I mean, you can bend it. It takes a little bit of pressure to bend it, but it is, you know, it's not, I can't squidge it. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so there is the layer with the burnt red, and then I just have the leaves and stem to pop in, and I'm going to go with the sea forest for that one. I am sorry about my humming. I can't help it. It's something that's got into me. Okay. So you can see here that ink has pooled quite badly. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. It was a pretty dirty stamp, and I think I may have used it, I don't know, a while back. Yeah. So as you can see how, you know, how that was pooling. So I'm going to take my stamp conditioner eraser and just flick that over the image. Okay, and then it kind of gives it a dull look. And then when I take that ink again, so this is the same ink as before. And you can see that that ink is now sat on there quite happily without pooling. Okay, so let's pop that into place. Right about there. There we go. Oops. There we go. So there is our fairy tale rose. Okay, I'm going to move that off to the side. I know I had a ranunculus image, so I'm going to quickly do this one before we move on to the book cover engravings. Oh, thank you, Sarah Jane. I wouldn't call them dulcet tones. Or my husband, he would not either. So I'm going to go with the same colors as I've got here because I have them open. I'm going to go with Pastel Sunrise. This is, hopefully you can see, but this is the beautiful Ranunculus. I haven't got that song stuck in my head anymore. But yeah, I just randomly hum when I'm stamping. I don't know why. So I'm just going with the Pastel Sunrise, and I'm doing that flower. Now, for the leaves, I am going to use my detail blending tools. It seems to be washing it out pretty badly. I'll see if I can point that away. Okay. But you can see just how pretty that is. Oh, bad. Yeah, same with me. I always get songs stuck in my head. So we have a ranunculus build-a-flower, I believe, if that's the one that you're referring to. So I think, yeah, we have a ranunculus build-a-flower. I'm not sure we have another stamp set. Right, all of your little detail blending tools will come in some little packaging that you just need to remove. Now I'm singing. No one wants that. No one wants that. Okay. Okay, it's not just me, Connie. Yeah. Good. So I'm going to take my little blending tool, and then I can add just the details that I want to add. So I'm just going to do this quickly so we can get onto something else. But you do have a smaller one. This one's the medium out of those, and like I said, if you did want to get your hands on these, you can sign up for an email notification when they do come back in stock, which shouldn't be too long, and then you will be able to get your hands on those really cool blending tools. Great for 3D embossing folders and also the stencils too. Connie, I'm not sure what bundles you are referring to. I am sorry. Okay, so there are the blending tools. If you mean the smaller ones, no. So the small ones come in a set of 4 and the detailed come in a set of 3. And you can see that there is a massive difference in the size of those there. Okay, so let's get on with the book engravings because we did have a request for that one too. Okay, so let's go with the book engravings. And I did want to show the size difference between the stamp set and also the embossing folder, which is coordinating but not matching. Okay, so this is the book cover engravings. And if I, oops, this is the book cover engravings and this is the book engravings. Okay, so the embossing folder has the book in it. But as you can see, hopefully you can see that the images on the 3D embossing folder are a little smaller than the images in the stamp set. But you could stamp them if you wanted to and then pop them over after you've die cut them. That's completely up to you. Okay. Okie dokie, so let's stamp this one up and let's go with a blue today because I have blues. Thanks, yellows. Oh, I didn't do the yellows yet. Maybe we should go with yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Okie dokie. Let's do 1 flower and 1 leaf. I am going to take my obsidian. Stamp that down. You can see the mess that you can see on my desk right now is not the half of it. Okay, so that is the large floral. And I'm going to go with the large leaf cluster as well. If you do want more inspiration using these products, I would recommend that you check out the blog hub. It does start on our card blog and it has lots of great inspiration, and there are also quite a few giveaways along the way as well. Okay, so I'm going to go with this large leaf here. If you did want to add a base layer to this, you would get the simple coloring stencil to add the base layer to both the flower and also the leaf. Okay. Yeah, I think I answered your question, Connie, but I'm not sure. So the book engravings, the images on here are smaller. You can see that the flower there is slightly smaller than the one that we did. Okay. The 1 layer, unless you do go with the simple coloring stencil, and that's going to allow you to add that base. I'm going to go with marshland. I really do love these greens. When they first come out, I thought I'm not going to use those greens very often, but they have quickly become my go-to green. I know. Sometimes I'm pretty fickle. Okay. Just look how pretty that is. Sarah Jane, I'm not sure at the minute. I did a show on Hot Hander the other week, so I don't know. COVID has a lot to answer for because I can't really leave Wales at the minute, so I'm sorry, everyone. Then I'm going to go with the fall or harvest, so I can add some yellow flowers. I haven't done yellow flowers in a while, so let's do some. I'm going to go with the pumpkin pie. Love this color. It's so beautiful. Pumpkin pie. So I'm going to add this into place. I'm lining up the top edge and also these bottom petals here. So the top and the bottom. Okay. And then I have the layer that comes next. And you do have the numbers on here, the numbers and the letters. So that's going to help you line that up. And let's go with the yellow ochre for this one. I do love the white poking through. It's very pretty and very, very classy too. Yeah, we're all stuck, I think, at the minute, but hopefully not for too much longer. We should be okay soon. So that is the second layer there, and you can see just how pretty that is. It kind of looks like an image out of a storybook or maybe one of those old poetry books. Okay, so that is the book engravings. Okie dokie. I did want to stamp up the swans because I just wanted to show you how easy they are to do. I didn't get a grey out, but I'm sure a light blue will do the job. Just making sure that I've got things out of the way. So I have the modern swans, and I'm going to go for a really, really light blue. I'm going to try and find it. So I have Misty Morning, and that's what my lightest color is going to be. I know. Okay, so I'm going to go with both of the swans because they're so easy. Oh, butterscotch hard candies. So I nearly went a whole Facebook Live or YouTube Live without talking about food. Now you got me started. I normally talk about dessert when we do these. I was doing so well. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Misty Morning. I may need to go with maybe a darker blue so you can see, but let's see how it goes. So I'm going to ink the whole image up. Stamp that down. There. Oops. I did give that a little bit of a wiggle, hopefully. Okay, we're okay. So that is one of the swans. I'm going to pop the other one in too, and then I'm going to put some water down. This may be actually one card that I finish. Yeah, so I was so close. Okay, and again, the Misty Morning. I think this looks really pretty. Maybe we can do the beaks in a blue color. I've never seen some monochromatic swans, but maybe I try and make some monochromatic swans today. I was going to do, you know, normal colored beaks, but I'm thinking I'm going to push this as far as I can. I'm just going to play. All right, so I'm going to pop the little faces on first. Make sure that I've got the right face for the right bird. Badia, I'm not sure. Maybe the lovely Joanna knows if the mini blossom will be, when the mini blossom will be coming back in stock. Also, if you do sign up for the email notifications, it will let you know when we do have it back in stock. Okay, so let's pop his face down there. And you can see really easy. They don't need to be lined up perfect. I think if you get them slightly asquiff, it just looks as though they're looking the other way. That's all. Oh, Leanne, I hope that you're having a nice breakfast. Fruit and yogurt. See, food again. Okay, I'm going to go with Nimbus. I'm really going to play on this kind of monochrome feel that I'm feeling at the minute. So I'm going with a blue beak. Okay, not too bad. I will bring it up to the screen. I mean, you can definitely go orange if you wanted to, but you know what? I may as well see if this works. And then if it does work, you guys can play around with it too. Okay, so there we go. We have the little beaks. Then we have the water. So got some water. And let's go with cloudy sky. So I'm going with the color that's in between these two, and that's in the Tranquility set. I mean, I probably could have got away with doing some yellow beaks. And put that down. If you wanted to, you can make this water come further by stamping it again, but I'm actually going to stamp it in that misty morning color, just a lighter blue, and kind of just pull that down a bit to get that kind of like an ombre effect with that water. Really cool. A simple stamp, but I think that is really, really cool. And let's add a sentiment, and I got a card made today. Okay. And it says, you exemplify beauty and grace. I never thought I would have a sentiment that says exemplify in it, but I do, and I like it. Okay, so there we go. If you wanted to, you could definitely do their beaks the right color, but they are just so, so pretty. We do have the matching dies as well, so it will cut out both of these if you did want to place them up as well. Okay, so it's a cool little way to use your swans. You can always go monochromatic too. And monochromatic doesn't have to be grays. You can go blues, go greens, whatever color you are fancying. Okay, so that is going to be it for me today. I will tidy up tomorrow. I'm going to leave this like this for tonight. But yeah, so we got through a couple of different things today. I have to say my favorite is maybe the monochromatic swans or that ombre flower. The ombre flower may have just cinched it though, because it does look really cool with those blues to purples. Please try that out with your stencils as well. Try some different colors and share with us at Altenew. We would love to see those as well. Okay, so I'm going to move you back up. Hey everyone. Okay, I just need to get rid of that so we can see things. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for sharing and for being with me today. It has been a blast. Hey there, Auntie Alison. My auntie's just popped in. I love you. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining me and for sharing. If you did share the live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store, and that will be posted right after the live. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. And if you do want some more inspiration, go check out the blog hop. There is tons there and some giveaways too. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.